Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how do we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the E-Commerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart Mraz and John Suter. The E-Commerce Minute is a production of Sumo Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's E-Commerce Minute episode 608.
In today's episode, eBay sells StubHub for $4 billion.
With a B. Earlier in the year, two of the biggest hedge fund investors suggested that eBay part ways with its StubHub ticketing and classified ads business. Elliott Management Corporation and Starboard Value LP, two prominent activist investors, urged that the company should focus on revitalizing its core marketplace business, boost its margins, and ensure it has the right leadership team in place. And after almost a year to consider the move, eBay has decided to listen to the investors' advice. eBay has agreed to sell its StubHub ticketing business to Swiss ticket reseller Viagogo Entertainment for $4.05 billion with a B in cash. Prior to the deal, eBay had owned StubHub since 2007 when it bought the business for a whopping $310 million. Wow, that's quite a premium. Viagogo is an online marketplace for the resale of live sports, music, and entertainment tickets. While both companies engage in reselling tickets, Viagogo is a significant competitor internationally, while StubHub is mostly present in the U.S. When combined, StubHub and Viagogo will sell tickets across more than 70 countries, quote, giving fans seamless access to a wider selection of inventory around the world, while sellers, teams, and artists will have the ability to more effectively reach a broader global audience, end quote, according to the announcement. No leadership changes are planned, and interim CEO Scott Schenkel said that eBay's proceeds from the deal will be put towards stock buybacks, dividends, and M&A investing. The move ultimately assists with eBay's larger efforts to redefine itself as shoppers increasingly turn to their phones, showing little patience for scrolling through thousands of listings. The company claims that 80% of items on its website are new, with the bulk sold at a fixed price rather than being auctioned. It has also rolled out improved search features and personalized recommendations and reviews, and they've recently announced some aggressive marketing campaigns to shed what some sees as an outdated image. The sale is slated to close in the first quarter of 2020 and is subject to regulatory approvals. So will this sale help eBay regain relevance as a key player in e-commerce? We shall see. I never knew why they bought StubHub to begin with, but that's a whole other story there.
Doesn't even make sense.
Well, I have particular thoughts on eBay because I've been an eBay seller since 1999. So I used to sell a lot of stuff on there. Not so much anymore. I think one of the reasons is the market has really changed. eBay has really changed a lot, and not for the better. And I think it's a lot harder to sell low margin stuff like a book or a CD or stuff like that because shipping is just too expensive anymore. And everybody wants free shipping, but that's just a general resale problem in itself. I think eBay 10 years ago, I think at one point their market cap was bigger than Amazon. So they were just buying up things. They were, I'm going to buy this. we're going to be the king of this. We're going to buy all this other stuff. And we all know how that ended. Amazon came in, ate their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and now they're looking to shed all of these things that they bought. I don't understand why they bought StubHub. It was a great deal for the owners of StubHub because, as we mentioned in the article, it was bought for $310 million and is sold for a multiple billion-dollar quantity of that. So they made their money back. So good for the eBay bottom line. I don't know anything about this Viagogo company, though. Do you?
No, so eBay sold StubHub to another ticket reseller. So
Correct.
What is Viagogo going to do with this?
I predict they will keep the brand name because it's a pretty famous brand name at this point, and just operate it as a separate entity. They'll see how it goes for a couple of years as they do, and then suddenly we may be buying tickets from Viagogo and go StubHub who.
Yeah.
The other competitor, now I buy a lot of tickets on the secondary market, particularly for baseball. I use StubHub, I use SeatGeek, and then there are two or three others that I use. I think for customer experience, SeatGeek always wins for me. What
Yeah.
infuriates me about both of them is the fees. I also buy hockey tickets on there, and friend of mine, we've been going the day after Thanksgiving. It's funny that we're talking about this now. The day after Thanksgiving, we go to see the Philadelphia Flyers play on Black Friday.
Oh, that's a nice tradition.
Yeah, so we've been doing this for about 20 years. Me and my friend go and have a couple beers and watch hockey on Friday afternoon because we don't have to work. And every year I buy the tickets on the secondary market. And I'm not going to tell you what the tickets cost, but the fees were almost like 2/3 of what the actual ticket cost was. It was almost $75 in fees that that StubHub puts in their pocket. Doesn't even go towards the seller. The resale, the fees for these tickets services are just completely out of whack. And it's like then they try to break it down. It's like service fee, handling fee, printing fee, delivery. It's just, I think the whole ticket resale thing is broken. I don't know if you remember back in ye olden days when Pearl Jam rebelled against Ticketmaster because Ticketmaster, fans couldn't get tickets to the shows because, a concert would go on sale and then all the tickets would be gone in 5 minutes. No, the fans would get it because all the bots and the resellers were coming in and swooping in and taking it. I don't know if that's still a problem like it used to be. Yes, I was just going to ask you about your recent Harry Styles ticket purchase experience. Please.
Oh,
you have the floor now.
I have things to say. First of all,
where did you go buy the tickets from?
Here's the entire ticket resale market and scalpers, it honestly triggers me. I hate it. I think it's so unethical. It's classist. I don't think that the only people who deserve to see their favorite people or favorite sport are those who have money. I think that's really unfair and I hate that. And I just don't know how they sleep at night because here's why.
Bed of money.
Here's why. So Harry Styles tickets. Now, so basically you land at Harry's page and it's supposed to be through Ticketmaster, right? Not Philly. Philly. It took you straight to Wells Fargo's website.
Which is not a great customer experience, I can tell you from just using it.
It is garbage. It is horrific. It's so bad. Okay. So you get taken there and then oops, Wells Fargo crashes every 35 seconds and then all the tickets were sold out.
And you have the little timers. It's like, well, you have 1 minute and 37 seconds to purchase this ticket.
So basically they're supposed to still be pit tickets available after the pre-sale. Guess what? There wasn't because I was on that website, the actual sale, the millisecond and those pit tickets and every other ticket were snatched up by scalpers, right? So that same minute I had to StubHub. Pit tickets, Harry, bless his soul, made $169. That is affordable. That is not outrageous. It's not quote unquote
for that
affordable.
Type of ticket. I think that sounds about in range.
Right? Okay. Go over to StubHub and guess what?
$350.
$600. $600. Oh $600.
Ouch.
I'm like sweating even just talking about it because I find it so gross and unfair. Like, I can't believe it. And you know what? That's just my experience with Harry Styles. It's like that for every big concert. Taylor Swift, $800. Like, It is just outrageous. And I don't understand how it's even legal. That's why when I was like even researching this whole thing, I was like, damn stuff. Like, it's so bad. I hate it. Like, what do you think as far as?
I'm right with you. That's one reason that I stopped attending as many concerts because it's just really, an $80 ticket winds up being $130 or $150, and it's really cost prohibitive.
Well, and the $600 for pit tickets was before fees. It was before fees. And so basically, like, long story short, like, for some reason this website made us do it through Wells Fargo, which was a bust in the first place. So we kind of had no choice but to go to a secondhand thing, and it just was a mess. I was lucky enough I got tickets during the pre-sale, so it wasn't like the end of the world for me. But I feel bad for other people who deserve to see their favorites. I hate it.
I think ticketing in itself is broken. Wells Fargo's website is really terrible. What runs a close second for me is trying to buy tickets directly from MLB, from the Major
Oh
League
yeah.
Baseball, because when you go to Phillies.com, it redirects to MLB, and that is just pretty awful. And that's not even from a fee standpoint. That's just from usability, UX, UI standpoint. It's just it's not a very good experience. Wells Fargo, awful, awful, awful. If you're out there, Wells Fargo, damn website, man. It's really bad.
The amount of tweets from Philly people that were like, Wells Fargo, I will hunt you down, because so many people weren't getting tickets.
Even if you just go buy tickets for like a Flyers game that isn't sold out, it's just not a great experience. Like if you try to look for something on there, it's not very good.
It glitches as soon as you look at it. You open the website, you blink, and it glitches, and you're like, "What?"
You gently click on the search, right? I'm one of those like, maybe if I didn't click so hard, maybe it would work.
I'm the same exact way. I try to like caress it and treat it nicely. Like, please.
Okay, let me close out all my other windows. Maybe it's like memory gently.
Let me go on Chrome.
Right. Maybe let me go on Safari and just not everything else up and turn all my music off. All right, so this company, Viagogo, apparently has had its share of problems. During the FIFA World Cup 2018, the governing body filed a complaint against the company from consumers and watchdog groups about opaque and deceptive business conduct. It was also in hot water from the UK for similar deceptive practices. And in 2017, it was accused of scamming consumers by pretending to sell tickets for events that weren't even on sale yet. Oh, this is going to go great. Earlier in April, an Australian court found the company guilty of misleading consumers and slapping them with absurd booking fees of up to $52 a ticket. I feel your pain. New Zealand's Commerce Commission received an unprecedented number of complaints about Swiss company Viagogo in the year July 2018 to July 2019. And in 2017, the company was embroiled in the debacle with regards to an Ed Sheeran benefit concert, bumping up tickets from £75 to £2,330, roughly a markup from $96 to $3,006. Let me just close this little paragraph out. Meanwhile, last year, UK Digital Minister Margot James outright told consumers on a BBC radio show, "Don't choose Viagogo, they're the worst." A gander into Viagogo's Twitter mentions is a minefield of disgruntled ticket buyers and sellers, claiming they were unfairly ripped off, never sent tickets, or unable to claim a refund.
My God.
Perhaps the most damning is Google suspended Viagogo as a global advertiser in July, citing advice from advertising regulators and the fact that the company was in breach of its advertising policy. These guys are awful.
I can picture, like, if eBay were a person, them like dusting their hands off with StubHub and just pushing it down the street.
Well, this is not going to bode well if these practices are rolled into StubHub. This is going to be one of those stay tuned stories, because I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, we've given our opinion on StubHub as a company already, and now that they're in bed with these den of thieves, these vipers, these awful people, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm glad that eBay is shedding all these other businesses, because I'm still pro eBay. I still think that there is a space in e-commerce world for eBay. I just wish that they would try to stop being Amazon. I know that there's still people who try to make a living reselling things on eBay, and I think they're getting shunted aside. They're getting pushed aside because they're not offering free shipping and they're not selling things that are new. Guess what? There are still people that want to buy things that are vintage or used or antique or gently used, as I like to say. I still believe that there's a market out there for a site like eBay. I just wish that whoever is running the company this week would get back to that, get back to the core essentials and do that. If not, sell off the auction part of it. Try to just sell new stuff, and we'll see how you do with that. Yes, I have specific thoughts.
It's all about sticking to your niche. as we say.
Well, they strayed. I mean, they were in the
Yeah.
classified. They bought a classified site. They bought StubHub. They had PayPal, which the only acquisition I ever thought made sense because that's how you pay for stuff on eBay is through PayPal. That's all there was back in the day. They didn't have all these other means of payment. They didn't have these other payment gateways. But since then, I just don't know what's going on with eBay. I'm going to tell you about our sponsor. Our sponsor is Sumo Heavy. That's us. Yes, sumoheavy.com. We publish a weekly newsletter, and it's filled with our latest blog posts, e-commerce news and tips, as well as e-commerce events and job listings. If you ever want to know about anything going on in the world of e-commerce, check out this newsletter. And we've also got a great feature called Our Latest Obsession, which is our one favorite thing that we found on the internet for that particular week. Each jam-packed email drops bright and early every 8 a.m. on Friday morning. So if you want to get in the know, go subscribe. Follow this URL, bit.ly/sumo heavy newsletter, bit.ly/sumo heavy newsletter. And once you're on there, you can subscribe and you can also read all of our past issues. Or if you want to share it with a friend, you can do it from there too. So go right now, bit.ly/sumo heavy newsletter. And that's it for that. Okay. eBay, back to eBay.
You know that video of
the
dumpsters or the garbage cans like flying down the street? Did you ever see that?
Yes.
That's literally StubHub and Viagogo, just like competing for who works.
You know what? I didn't hear this company Viagogo before this story, but you better believe I'm going to keep one snarky left eye on this company. I want to see what happens with this. Worse. I thought this would have been a good thing for StubHub. The only thing it's good for is, eBay. They got all that sweet cash, and that's about it.
Maybe companies will start to be held accountable. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, you're so sweet. You're so nice.
We hope.
We hope.
We pray.
All right, let's close this one out with a stat time. StubHub accounted for 14% of eBay's company revenue in last year's third quarter. That's according to Wall Street Journal. That's a good chunk there. And sluggish sales of merchandise through its main platform caused a 57% year-over-year decline in its third quarter profit. That's also according to the Wall Street Journal. But eBay stock is up roughly 27% for the year. So there is some optimism there. I am pro eBay. Go eBay. That is according to CNN. Brittany, you got anything else?
No.
We'll keep a skeptical eye on this Viagogo. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media @Sumo Heavy.